from Chicago. A few from Denver. So Washington, IAD. That sounds familiar. Everything from Scandinavian Airlines to Swiss International to United, Lufthansa. Alright, we're right not too far from South Lamar, where the haunted, there it is, South Side's way down that way. There's a haunted apartment complex. I did a show on it, and the guy got mad at me because his landlord didn't want me to. This guy was cool. He's from D.C. He was traveling through probably business, most likely. Let me check everything here. Okay, looks like we're good on that. Gillies is right down there. And South Side is right down that way. And two things about this area is there's that haunted apartment complex south of Lamar, and Amber Geiger killed a guy eating ice cream. She was a police officer. She's no longer a police officer, but she was on the wrong level and thought she walked into her apartment and saw a guy there eating ice cream and gunned him down. And this is the area that happened in this little area right over here. We might go by it in just a minute. Those are the two. Because I always go to parts of Dallas and kind of talk about, like, different areas of Dallas and stuff like that. You can see one of the famous buildings back there, or you could for a second. This is Griffin Street right here. Might run into South Side or South Lamar. This is known as the Lorenzo right there. I don't know what's going on with the Reunion Tower lights. Maybe they're conserving on energy, but all the other lights are working. So is it a grid thing? I don't know. Never seen that before. The Reunion Tower is always lit up. So maybe they're waiting for later in the night to conserve a little bit of energy. And then they'll turn it on. It does have a lot of lights though. We're right by the Omni, so the Omni is definitely going to have their lights on. Alright, so I did talk to the guy about my possible Dealey Plaza JFK assassination tour. I couldn't really, he was from Washington, D.C. I don't know if he really had a side. We went kind of with just talking about it, maybe Mafia, because Jack Ruby knocked off Lee Harvey Oswald within 3 days, and also in public. And the Mafia, he said he felt they were more powerful back then, and they did like to show off their power. It's a possibility. So let's take a photo of this building right here. I use that in one of my features once in a lifetime. I think it's I mean, okay, like for one thing, he slept. Okay, JFK slept with Marilyn Monroe. That probably made some people mad. Arthur Miller probably got upset. Hoffa was knocked off because he was giving the mafia trouble at that time. So he knocked off Hoffa. And why not, while they're at it, why not knock off JFK? And then Robert Kennedy got killed too. It could have happened. It could have happened. So what they could probably done is paid a patsy. No one would be better than Lee Harvey Oswald because he was such a communist and pro-communist guy. Just, and get him a job at the book depository. They knew the route. Lee Harvey Oswald would not have known the route of where the president was going. We're turning on Elm right now. He would not have known the route. So they would have probably known it. It's Bank of America building. So, okay. If he was a lone gunman, then how did he know exactly where JFK was going to be? He was just Lee Harvey Oswald. I mean, he was just a simple Marine. Supposedly, they made this whole thing about him sleeping with a Japanese spy in Japan. That was probably just him on RR, just on R&R, and she just happened to be a spy. Maybe, maybe that. Oh, look, advertising the Nun. Maybe, it's a possibility. And having a nut just knock him off is probably the easiest, by far, theory on the assassination. It by far is probably the easiest way to do it. But you have to realize that what an idiot. Sorry about that. It doesn't tie up everything, okay? Here's some of my arguments about Lee Harvey Oswald, okay? If he was on the 6th floor of the book depository building, which we're coming up right here, okay, why not take the shot when he's coming down to Houston this way? That's simple. You could have thrown a rock and killed him. Once he pulls into Elm and goes down in front of all those trees, you would have to be a magician to get that shot off. Now, last night, the guy dropped off in Crawford. He told me that the conspiracy theory, or one of the theories, is that the driver turned around and shot him in the throat. Or probably, because he leaned back after he got shot. That's one thing. Okay. And then you have him getting hit by the grassy knoll over here, which he goes back and to the left. So why would he turn back into the left if the bullet is coming down from this side, which would have knocked him forward and to the left, not back and to the left. He would have went forward and to the left. So there's an argument there. And then why did Lee Harvey Oswald tell everyone he was a patsy? Why did he jump on? And he was also confronted by a police officer here at the book depository building, and he was released. Abraham Zapruder had the best filming spot right here. Filming him, one shot gets him in the throat, the second one bounces off Elm, and the third one is a fatal shot right there. Boom. JFK dies moments later. Pronounced dead at Parkland Hospital. Goes through here, and boom, that was it. A couple people got hit, the governor got hit, and Governor Conley, I believe was his name, got hit through the wrist. There's the magic bullet theory. Anyway, if the mafia didn't want him around, they didn't care if they did it in public. They did that stuff all the time. You ever seen an Irishman? Anyway. Kingfish was written, if you go to Campese's in Fort Worth, it's a little restaurant. They've got 2 articles about 2 different books written about the mafia killing JFK. It's a sound theory. I haven't read the books, but I probably need to. I'm waiting to do the tour until I have more knowledge. So I'll probably be buying these books on probably Google Books or looking for them on Amazon. One's called The Kingfish. I don't know the authors right now, but I have done a show about Campese's. Campese's was involved in the mafia. Now they're pretty much a legit Italian restaurant. But they were involved in that stuff. And I guess they knew the author that wrote some of the books about possible mafia hit on JFK, on John F. Kennedy. So that's pretty scary to think about. Now, if Cuba did it, that's a whole book right there. You know, if Cuba was behind it, even if Russia, Japan could have even been behind it too. Doubt it, but really anyone could have been. Or it could have been a lone gunman that just would happen to be a nut. You know, that's a possibility as well. So I'm coming up with ideas on the tour. This would be the Dealey Plaza JFK assassination tour. I think it would start on foot. We would go up the 6th floor of the Texas Book Depository building. We would look where the sniper nest was. We would see that, okay? Which I don't know if you have to pay to see that or not, but it'd be part of the tour. We'd look at the outside of it. We'd walk around where the Abraham Zapruder footage was taken from Abraham Zapruder. And then probably I would read up on some Dealey Plaza stuff and talk a little bit about Dealey Plaza, okay? Because my friend, who's a playwright, I think his name is Matthew Paul almost. He's written some plays and stuff. He's very interested, you know, in the Dealey Plaza and the assassination of JFK. So, you know, we would kind of you know, look around there, you know, and kind of, you know, look where the X's are, you know, where the bullets came down from the Books Depository building, the moment when he was shot, and all that kind of stuff. Then we would get into the car, and we would drive down Houston, the exact way the JFK did, turning left on Elm, and kind of reenacting. Now, eventually, we could eventually maybe get a car that's similar to what they were driving in the Caravan, eventually with, you know, with a top down, you know, convertible. Then we would drive to basically probably the Texas Theater and the area where J.D. Tippit was killed by Lee Harvey Oswald, because I want to stick factual, what's in the history books first. Then we would go to the Texas Theater and the book and the shoe store. Well, the shoe store where Lee Harvey Oswald was spotted being, you know, mischief. It was, the guy was, he seemed, I guess, conspicuous or something. I don't know the right word. He seemed, what would they use? Well, the guy the manager, they have an interview of the manager that turned him in. That shoe store manager. If it wasn't for him, Lee Harvey Oswald probably would have made it to Cuba. He probably would have went to Cuba, maybe Russia. He could even try to go to Japan, but because he had been to Japan, he's also been to Russia, or he would have just defected to Cuba, which would have been safe for him to do either of those. But he had spent time in Russia. Anyway, but because they either saw J.D. Tippit, the officer get shot, and then a description of Oswald was given, that was either around town, but I don't think the manager of the shoe store had a description yet. Although I think it was coming out at that moment on the radio, because they were covering the assassination. They were on lookout for this type of person, in which they gave a description of Lee Harvey Oswald. White t-shirt, you know, exactly how Gary Oldman was dressed in JFK and acted. So he was acting a little jittery. He was looking at shoes. Then he left the shoe store and went right into the Texas movie theater house, where they wrestled him down and pretty much they kind of beat him up a little bit. You saw what he looked like in the interview, you know, in the television interview, where it was a news broadcast that we'll have to look that stuff up. It was broadcast on every channel at that time that was out, and he was, you know, beat up, not too bad, but it was, you know, busted lip kind of or something, and I think his eye was like they hit him in the eye. So when they interviewed him, he said he was a patsy. He got that out, and then 3 days later, Jack Ruby would shoot him in the gut, and that would kill him. It was fatal. I don't think he lived long after that at all. Supposedly JFK, John F. Kennedy, was still alive when he got to Parkland. That's also debatable too. Anyway, we could also go by Parkland Hospital too, just to show the final moment of that faithful moment when John F. Kennedy died. We go by there as well. We could keep it all YouTube. You know, I'd like to do a tour. It'd be cool. You know, and we could start doing this with YouTube, and then see how you like it, and if you would like to participate in it or like to show up, then we would negotiate a price, you know, of what you would want to pay to be on the tour. You can do it through YouTube, or you can just leave a comment if you're interested in flying in. And I'll talk to Linda, because I could dress up like John F. Kennedy, she could dress up like Jackie O. And there could be other times where I dress up like Lee Harvey Oswald and she dresses up like Lee Harvey Oswald's wife, you know, that kind of thing. We could do stuff like that. It'd be cool. Anyway, I'll keep in touch. And tonight's episode is brought to you by Jack Links. 100% beef. Can't go wrong with Jack Links. So get one and stick it in your mouth. Sorry about the Dutch egg. Interesting night. So one guy from Boston, pretty nice person, and the other guy from Washington, D.C. Pretty cool. One going to the Anatole and the other going to the Lorenzo. And then a little bit of JFK assassination theory coming on Dealey Plaza, which I think a lot of people will be interested in. I think it's a great idea. And starting my own business is the goal. Okay, me being a business owner is the goal. Going to Mark IV Parkway, passing through there. This is the gates of Fort Worth in the show. This is how you enter the side of Fort Worth over here coming out of Haltom. It's where we keep the good people in and the bad people out. Good night. Good luck. Godspeed. right? Oh! Hey, y'all, it's time to find some decent friends. Why don't you breastfeed him? He'll love it more. He'll love it when he grows up. Would you buy furniture from a place called Unpainted Huffines? Sir, you might want to watch out there. Well, what was he wearing? I don't know. It had some Yodas and shit on it. What was he wearing? I don't know. Pajamas. Well, what were on the pajamas, sir? I don't know. It had Yodas and shit on it. All right. So I purchased this banana 12 times. It's like number 10 right here. So I gotta avoid a maintenance fee. So what I usually do, because my bank, you can take your card and do a point of sale 12 times in 1 month and you're not charged a maintenance fee. So I buy a banana once, which is like 25 cents or something like that. And then I buy like something very lightweight 11 more times. That way, you know, I've already paid for the banana and I pay for my maintenance. And I get it out of the way. I used to do it all at once. So I look at the app, make sure I count 12, and that means I save $12.
Started off pretty bad though.
Some of the footage that we got when we were doing that 52-minute vlog that we got lost. Only I was talking about raising Arizona the entire time. Are you missing something? Snickles?
Can you turn on the light if you're swimming? It's on my apron. Get it from my phone.
Oh, I'll call it. Bella? This recent?
The next day he was found dead. Tonight we're getting some new inside files.
Chris, Edmund Danford's mom didn't want to do a formal interview tonight, but she told me over the phone. Police told
women pictured occupied a man's Fort Worth apartment. He was later found dead.
First red flag for her because her son doesn't do drugs. She told me he was a beloved barber, a big brother, and a friend. And she said the second red flag was that several items were missing from Danford's apartment, including this distinctive Dallas Stars necklace. Now I want to show you that surveillance video once again. It's from inside Greenlight Social. It was found dead. And one of the two women in this video went with him to his apartment that night. When Danford was found unresponsive the next day, police say the woman was no longer there. Now police aren't calling these women in this video suspects, but they say that they are people they would like to speak with about what happened that night. Now again, if you have any information on these women or their whereabouts, you're asked to contact Fort Worth Police. Chris.
Thank you, Jill. Everybody loves hanging out.
So he was found unresponsive. Is this recent?
Yeah.
Some guy?
A few hours
Deep
ago.
Ellum?
No, they were at a bar in Deep Ellum.
Oh, they
but
were.
he lives in Fort Worth.
Oh, he's from Fort Worth, but
One
he
of the
was
two girls.
he was out hanging out at Deep Ellum. Man. So where did they end up finding him? Fort Worth?
Yeah, there's an apartment.
Nice.
I still can't remember that band. Not Poison, but remember like 2 days ago, I was looking up a band or a TV show. And I was trying to tell you about the singer. She was a lead guitarist for some band, and one of her songs were called Poison, but I can't remember the name of the band. And I looked at my YouTube history earlier, I couldn't find it. No idea who it was.
There's Poison. They sing that.
No, the name was the song.
Rose has a thorn. Every cowboy has a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. That's Poison.
No, the name of the song was Poison, but it was a band.
Oh, okay.
From
I have to look it up.
19.
I think I remember.
I think it was 2002. You went
I think
into
I
the
remember you telling
bedroom,
me, yeah.
but I can't remember like if she was in a TV show or how I found out about her. I just can't remember what it was.
That's cool.
I looked at my call history and I can't. YouTube history, I can't figure it out.
That's from a TV show.
I can't remember how I found her.
Here he is. Get those claws sharp for eating, kitty. Because you're about to get some cat food.
No, he needs to play first.
There's Kitty, gonna play. There's Linda. Now, tonight, I move all this stuff off. We're gonna do a reading of Grace. I think last I was at page 19. So we'll go from page 19 and just go through a session. Probably through a lot of the fights until it gets right to the werewolf part at Barksville. That's what I'm hoping to do. For tonight's feeding, we'll be having Fancy Feast. Tender beef entree in gravy. Do you like that, kitty? And so we'll be having Fancy... Kitty, look over here. We'll be having Fancy Feast. Here we go. Fancy Feast for Kitty. And he's purring. All right. Okay, kitty. Here we go. Fancy Feast. This looks like a good one. He really likes Fancy Feast. These little containers right there. Fancy Feast. So good, a person even likes it. Or even wants to eat it, too.
Next time we go to Sam's, let's get him a big box like that, okay? Those Aldi's ain't doing it. See, look at that. That's pretty good. Yes, litter always stinks. I think it's the litter. I don't think it's him. It's a litter. Would you like some water, baby? Why did you want?
Okay, come on, watch the F-bombs.
Sorry, but. Bigger than the other one.
There's one over there.
Oh, that's the bigger one. Yeah, he likes the bigger
Be
one.
careful with the lamp, it'll, yeah.
Come here, guys.
Oh wow, it turned on. All right, so we're gonna start on page 19. Remind me tomorrow. I have a song called Remind Me Tomorrow. All right, here we go. Getting it ready. This is Grace, aka Werevlog, and we got to get everything kind of calm in the room. Get everything where it's not too much energy. It's got to be very light, and then we'll get into the reading in a minute. So we gotta wait for the energy to be right, and we're just gonna go right into from locker room and go from there. Kitty's in place for the reading. Usually goes after the feet. Goes after my feet during the reading. We are starting on page 19. I did do a full scroll. You just go AKA, or you go Grace, AKA Werevlog, full scroll, and you'll see the whole screenplay. All right, page 19, locker room, interior locker room day. Grace takes his fighting gi from the locker. Printed in the black lettering on the gi's back side is Grace Jiu-Jitsu. There is a small cloth patch of an Apache fighter sewn into the gi's shoulder. The brown and ash-colored patch reveals a warrior carrying a spear on a wild-bucking Mustang horse. Grace picks up his black belt tipped with 4 red stripes on the edge. Cut 2. Interior room night. Grace talks to her. I really go by GL, not Grace. So I can't call you Grace? Not around the ring or in public. Just call me GL, it's a long story. I want to hear it. Okay. I thought Grace was a sissy name that my parents gave me, so I go by GL now. Okay? GL? Yep. I like Grace better. You are the only one that can call me Grace, okay? Deal? Let's shake on it. She stands up to shake his hand. Grace. This is our secret handshake. He shows Rainey his secret handshake. She blushes. Cut 2. Have you ever seen the rain? Okay. I'm gonna cut here because I just got an idea.